Okay, so two-way frequency tables. So if you have a two-way table, it's kind of what you think. It's two ways. So you could be thinking about hair color and eye color. So it's just a way to show data that pertains, and that's a P, not a D, that pertains to two different categories, like students' hair color and their eye color. Okay, so this next problem is quite long. I wrote it all out, so you can pause the video and write that down. And sorry, this might be loud, so turn down your volume for just a second. I'm going to turn off the mic, or the light. Okay, there we go. Um, so, Miss Alonso surveyed students at school. She found 78 students have a cell phone, and 57 of those have a TV in their room. There are 13 students who do not have a cell phone, but have a TV in their room. 9 students do not own a cell phone and do not have a TV in their room. And these are not real numbers. I just found a problem online, and instead of saying whatever the other teacher's name was that I couldn't pronounce, I just used my name. So the two things that we're talking about that you can see is cell phones and TVs in their room. So that's the two pieces of information. Hold on, turn your volume back down. I'm going to turn my light back on. Okay, so those are the two things that we're talking about. So I'm going to create a table, and I'm going to put cell phones over here. So I'm going to say have a cell phone, don't have cell phone, and then along this side we're going to put TV in room, and no TV in room. We always, well, not always, sometimes they don't include it to make things harder, but you can always add it. So I'm going to put a totals column, and then along the bottom I'm going to put a totals. Sorry, you can hear my son in the background. Oops, and that whiteout doesn't work. Okay, so now we're going to take the data that we see up here and we're going to place it in this two-way table. So this is what a two-way table looks like. You're going to have some data along this side and some data along the top. So let's take that first piece of information. So she found 78 students have a cell phone. So 78 students have a cell phone. And so when we look at that, it doesn't say anything about if they have TVs in their room or no TVs in their room. It just says 78 students have cell phones. So notice this whole column over here is saying students who have cell phones. So that's the total, but I'm going to finish that sentence just to make sure that we understand. So 78 students have a cell phone, and 57 of those have a TV in their room. So 57 of these students that have a cell phone have a TV in their room. So that 78 is the total, like I was saying. So the 78 is going to go in the totals. That's how many total students have a cell phone. And that was from that piece right up there. That's where I got that information. Now, 57 of those have a TV in their room. So 57 is going to go right there, because 57 of them have TVs in their room. Now this next one, I had written it wrong, so I had to fix myself. But there are 13 students who do not have a cell phone, so we're going to be somewhere in this row, but they have a TV in their room. So they don't have a cell phone, but they have a TV. So that would be 13. So 13, that comes from this information. So they do not have a phone, but they have a TV. And then it says 9 students do not own a cell phone. So no cell phone and no TV. So 9. Create a two-way table. So create a two-way table. So now you can see that there are pieces missing. This is where the math part comes in on this. So we have cell phones. We know that 57 of them have a TV in their room. We know that there's 78 total. Well, if we know that this total is 78 and we know that there are 57 that have them a TV in their room, you can take that total, 78, and subtract the 57. That would give us 21. So 21 students have a cell phone but do not have a TV in their room. I'm going to change that to blue so you can actually see it. Okay. Now we need to finish all of the boxes. So 13 and 9, we need to see how many total students don't have a cell phone for this table. So 13 plus 9 is 22. So then 22 students total don't have a cell phone. Okay, now this totals one. We're going to total each column, and then this last one is actually the total of this column. Okay, so let's see. So we have 57 plus 13 is 70. So we have 70 total students that have a TV in their room. 21 plus 9, we have 30. So we have 30 total students that do not have a TV in their room. And then we're going to add this one, 78 plus 22 is 100. One way to check to make sure you actually did it right is also add this way. 70 plus 30 is also 100. So that is a two-way table. Typically they are going to be coming from word problems. On the assignment, I actually gave you the two-way table and then asked you questions like, how many students have a cell phone but no TV in their room? So you would say 21. It might say how many total students do not have a cell phone. That would be 22. So you can see that there, oh sorry, I didn't mean to bump the table. It's just an easy way for some people to see all of the data. Hopefully you think it's easy, but some people might not. Okay, so now this next one, and I don't actually want you to see the way I set this one up. So example 2. There are 150 children at summer camp and 71 signed up for swimming. There were a total of 62 children that signed up for canoeing and 28 of them also signed up for swimming. Create a two-way table. I want you to actually try this because on the assignment it was really hard to say create a two-way table without you having to like submit a PDF or something. So I want you to actually try it by yourself. So take this information and try to make a two-way table. I'm going to do it in steps so you can hopefully get as far as you can. So go ahead and pause the video and try to do as much as you can. If you get stuck, then resume the video and I will start working. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the table. I know the two things that I need, or the two pieces of data I'm talking about, are the number of students swimming and the number of students canoeing. So I'm going to do canoeing across the top. So who signed up for canoeing and who did not sign up for canoeing, and totals. And then I'm going to do swimming down the side. So signed up for swimming and did not sign up for swimming. And then the totals. Okay. Alright, pause the video if you just needed help getting that set up. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting the information into the table. So we know that we had 150 total students. So that 150 is going to go down here. And then we know that there were 71 signed up for swimming, but it doesn't specifically say what type of swimming. Like, did they sign up for canoeing as well, or is it just says signed up for swimming? So that 71 would go in the totals. There were a total of 62 children that signed up for canoeing. So notice that one was nice and told you total. So we know 62 signed up for canoeing. So signed up for canoeing would be here. And 28 of them also signed up for swimming. So 28 of them, of this number, 28 of them signed up for swimming. Sorry, you can hear my son on the back side of that door. I'm recording in my basement. Okay, so now if we signed up for swimming and there's 28, and then there's a total of 71, then we know that there's a missing number here. And so that's kind of like we did on the last one. So you're going to take your total, 71, and subtract 28, and you get 43. Okay, then it looks like we don't have anything here, but watch what we can do. So then let's go ahead and find this one. We know what that one is. So do 62 minus 28. You get 34. Well, it still looks like we don't have anything, but if we remember, the total number of people at camp is 150. So I could find this number, and I could find this number. So I could do 150 minus 62, and I get 88. And then I could do 150 minus 71, and I get 79. And then we have 34 and some number equals 79. So should be 79 minus 34 is 45. But let's check these numbers to make sure that they match up. So 43 plus 45 is 88. And we should see that all of that works. You could go and add all of those up, add all of those up, add all of those, add those two, and add those two, and it should show you that you got the same number. So that's how you create a two-way table. One thing I did want to talk about on the assignment, there were more columns. So it talked about like hair color, and it was like brown, black, I can't spell, red, blonde. Then we also have eye color like green, blue, and then they had all the numbers. So one thing that I want you to keep in mind is if it says like brown hair, green eyes, you would want to look in this spot. If it said brown hair, blue eyes, you'd look in this spot. If it said something about does not have brown hair, you would want to take whatever this total is off from the total for the rest. Okay, or if it said brown and black, you would combine these two. Sorry, you can hear my son pretty well in the background. He's playing. So just keep those in mind. Of course, let me know if you need help.